In today's 5 at 5, we're asking 5 questions of the Mets to Nelson Figueroa, who, of course, is a new member of the SNY family. Will join Gary Apple and the Mets crew for the pre- and post-game shows and, of course, pitched for the Mets a few years ago. Let's talk about Dillon Gee, a guy you know very, very well. Is he a better fit as the 5th starter than working out of the bullpen as a long man?
I think so. I don't think he has the experience as a reliever to really help this team the way they would need him. I think as a starter, Dillon Gee has done it for years and years. He's a guy that he's consistent. He may not be the flashy option. He may not be the, you're talking about the Syndergaard, you're talking about the Monteros, but when you talk about Dillon Gee, you're talking about consistency, and he wants to get better and wants to prove that he should be a part of this rotation for a little while longer.
All right, you're down in spring training. You know all the prospects that are there as well. How long should we expect Gee to be in the rotation with those young arms like Matz and Syndergaard waiting to come up?
Yeah, I mean, you hear about this great promise that we have down below. I think what the problem is for the Mets is that they need to win now. We don't have time to wait to see if they can do it at the major league level. We know Dillon Gee can do it at the major league level. And as long as he's performing and as long as he's getting the other team out, we're not really concerned about the flashy numbers, the analytics, and all the things that go with that. We're looking for Dillon Gee to be the type of guy that goes out there and gives you a chance to win a ball game every 5th day as a 5th starter.
And people forget how good he was before he had that injury. The guy he beat out, Rafael Montero, certainly opened some eyes with how well he pitched late in spring training. How does his stuff play in the bullpen?
You know, I think it plays very well in the bullpen. A bullpen is a place for a guy with velocity. You know, velocity overcomes when you can't execute that pitch properly. Montero had a taste of the big leagues last year, and he didn't cut it as a starter, but he does have the skill set to be a good reliever because you can minimize now your pitch selection. You can use less pitches. Instead of throwing 3-4 pitches as a starter, you go out there with 2 pitches that you know you can command that night, and you can dominate the 3 batters you'll face for the 1 inning.
All right, let's talk about the center fielder who gets the nice contract extension today. Juan Lagares, obviously a young player growing here. How much does this contract allow him to relax entering the season?
Oh, it speaks volumes. I think it's the opportunity of a lifetime. This is what you've been waiting for, was a chance to sign on the dotted line. Now he has a chance to not worry about financial hardships. He's a guy that goes out there now, and with the skill set that he has, he can do a lot of things well. Defensively, he's one of the best in baseball as there is. If he gets that leadoff job and he's able to settle into it, the things that he's been doing with Kevin Long have paid off so far this spring. And so I'm excited to see if he can convert to the regular season. And having this contract out the way, he knows where he's going to be for the next 5 years. I think it's a great step by the Mets and a great step for Juan Lagares.
Nelson, let's talk about a guy working his way back from Tommy John surgery, Bobby Parnell. The velocity still working its way back as well. Didn't pitch well today, gave up 2 doubles, 3-run homer, a walk, didn't get through the inning. Yeah. When do you start, or do you start, to worry about Bobby Parnell as he works his way back?
Not just yet. Remember, he's just 12 months removed from his Tommy John. He did it opening day of last year. So I think that's kind of the dream, is to have him back as quickly as possible. The reality is, should take his time a little bit more. I think seeing what Matt Harvey has done 16, 18 months after his surgery, and the velocity came back and everything came out, and it wasn't necessarily in the back of his mind as he's trying to get back to major league form. Right now, I think not that they are forcing the issue, but Bobby Parnell wants to be out there, wants to help this team because he sees everything coming together nicely. However, I would rather take Bobby Parnell at close to 100% somewhere down the line than rush him to get back sooner than he needs to be.